This is Characteristic. You already know Character did it. I'm here with City Boy Ghost, bro. Tell us about yourself. What do you do?
Man, what's good? I really appreciate you having me here, first of all. You know what I mean? I'm City Boy Ghost, artist, writer, rapper, singer. I connect people, help put shows together, help put tours together, all that good stuff. And I engineer and I love what I do.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
30 years old. All right, man. Where you from?
Yeah. I'm from Oceanside, California.
Oceanside. Whereabouts in California is that?
So Oceanside is like 40 minutes north of San Diego and maybe like an hour south of LA. So we're like smack dab in the middle where everything's happening.
What was coming up in an area like that? Like
out here, honestly, it's pennies on the dollar for anything special. You know what I mean? Like we have artists that are big that you can see working with other big name artists. Like for instance, John Gibbs is popping in the city, or Bishop Snow's popping right now. And I mean, those probably aren't globally known people, you know what I mean? But like where I'm from, there are people that are doing it.
What was your childhood like? What was it like coming up for you?
Out here, I think it was like anybody's childhood. I don't think there's too much of a divergence in that from like where you are. Like we all kind of go through the same shit. But I was raised by a single mom. She worked her ass off. It was me and my sister all the time, and we were just always doing what we could to make ends meet, you know? Yeah. It's one of those things where like when you're young, you don't know you're broke, you know? You don't know life's hard. You don't know shit's fucked up. You're just kind of going through it and you're like, this is life. And I'm pretty sure everybody's house is like this, you know? And it was crazy because I grew up in an area out here where there's like a really drastic line drawn between like the wealth. Like there's wealthy people and then there's everybody else. So there were kids that I grew up playing football with where we would go to their house and they'd have a fat fucking house and they'd have all this shit, all these Legos, fucking video games, you know what I mean? What was that one crazy ass game? Didn't Sega make a Dreamcast, right?
Hell yeah.
It was like an Xbox, but it was a Sega.
Yep,
I remember a kid had a
got that little screen on the control and everything, bro.
Bro,
yep.
Crazy as fuck. And I remember thinking when I was a little kid that we didn't have that kind of stuff because my mom didn't love me enough. You know what I mean? Like I didn't understand the difference and really how hard my mom was like putting her neck on the line to be able to give us what she thought we deserved. You know what I mean? So she was always hard on us about like excelling in school, you know, making sure that we had an opportunity to get out of our situation, excelling in sports, you know, just anything, bro. So yeah, that's basically what it was, you know what I mean?
No, I feel you, bro. I feel you, man. So what'd you do after high school?
After high school, it was okay. After high school was a weird time for me, right? And I'm gonna tell you why. I was living with my dad my senior year. So I was in the city next to Oceanside. I was in Vista, and I was going to school at Rancho Buena Vista High School. And my dad and my stepmom were going through a divorce at the time. And it was crazy. It was fucking crazy. Just every name being called. Everybody hates everybody. You know, she moves out of the house and goes to stay with her mom in Carlsbad, which is like Tony Hawk's hometown and shit. So she goes to stay in Carlsbad, and my dad basically turned the house into like a fucking party house, bro. I'm talking, he's like 45 years old, and all of his high school friends are coming over. Everybody's fucked up. You know, people are offering me drinks and Percocets, and I'm like 16 years old and shit, 17 years old. It was funny.
See, we laugh, but it was kind of a tough situation for you.
Oh no, it was weird to deal with in the moment. It was really weird to deal with in the moment. I could tell that like something's off about what's going on. You know what I mean? Like this shit should not be happening right now. Like this guy is a full-scale fucking teacher. I'm supposed to be going to school. Yeah, so it was crazy, bro. It was super crazy. And his story gets crazier as time went on too. But all that was going on, and you know, I feel like I've heard a lot of people talk about this, so I don't feel like it's a really foreign subject, but like just growing up and not having a place where you feel safe and needing that safety as an adult, right? And really just like looking for a safe place where you feel like you can be yourself and not be rejected for being yourself. Like really just be celebrated for being alive, bro. And I didn't have that there anymore, you know? So it got to the point to where I would literally like come home after school, go to sleep for like an hour, and then just fucking leave. And I wouldn't be back until like 3 o'clock in the morning, you know? Just doing whatever. Like it wasn't always like crazy activities. It could be I'm at my friend's house and we're playing video games and smoking weed. Like it could be anything, bro. And it got to the point to where they started locking my door on me, so I had to start taking my screen off of my window and leaving it unlocked so I could just climb in and go back to sleep, you know? And with all that going on, I dropped out and I was like, I'm done here. This is a unhealthy environment for me. I'm not doing anything. I'm really just learning how to be more secretive and all that bullshit, you know what I mean? And yeah, I started selling weed, bro. Like that was just my thing, you know what I mean?
When did you start making music?
So that's kind of a weird one for me. I started writing music when I was like 11 years old. So I remember in like 5th grade, this is like when Good Charlotte was coming out and they were like really big at the time. Like the anthem was a really big song on the radio and all that shit. And I had written a punk rock song. I don't even know where it came from. It just fucking came out. And from then on, I kind of just, I never really stopped. Like it was a secret, you know what I mean? When I got into middle school, I had heard this rumor that somebody that I knew, like their dad was somehow connected with Eminem. And it became like this whole thing for me where I was like, oh, I'm gonna write these songs and they're gonna go to Eminem and then he's gonna fucking sign me. And it was, you know what I mean?
Hold on, you the audio cut out the last like 2 sentences. So you were convinced you were gonna get signed by Eminem.
Yeah, it was everything to me, bro. It was my everything to like make this happen. So I really like started writing songs and people would pass them around my middle school, you know, and really come up to me and talk to me about it. Like, hey, I heard that fucking, or I read that song that you wrote. That shit's hard as fuck.
Hell yeah.
So I kept doing it. Like I never had backlash about what I was doing. I never really had people stop and try to tell me how much they dislike me or what they don't like about what I'm doing unless they didn't like me as a person for some reason, you know? So I got into writing, and then when I was like 14, I fell into a studio and just started slowly recording my shit, you know, and thinking I was really doing something, you know? It was cool, man. It was cool. I did a couple rap battles back then too.
So when did it shift? When did you realize you gotta change it up?
Honestly, I didn't really start taking music seriously until like 2017. So it took some years. It took a couple of years, you know. Like I was still out there like 2012, 2013. Like these artists like Joey Badass and J. Cole are coming out. Like I'm recording demos in my living room and filling up a backpack with CDs and fucking hitting the city and just getting rid of CDs everywhere, like everywhere that I possibly can, you know, from the valley to the fucking courthouse. And I mean, I thought I was serious about it at that time, but I didn't have a vision, you know. I was thinking small the whole time. It was just like, get this music to people. I didn't know what else to do with it. So 2017, I had ran into one of my bros, Stoner Jordan, and he threw a show in San Diego and I helped him book the show out. So it ended up sold out. There was like 250 people there, crazy as fuck, you know. Everybody was drunk as fuck. We had a good time. And from there, he was like, do you want to finish this tour with me? Which was basically like doing a show in LA, doing a show in, I think it was Fresno, and then doing a show back in Arizona. And then I would have came back home to Oceanside. So we went ahead and we knocked that out. And from then on, he just kind of like saw something, like something's going on here. I want to keep bringing this kid out. And we kept working. And that was when I kind of started building like my fan base, you know, really getting out of my city and going to see other people. People in my city were recognizing I was traveling a lot and kind of just living up to my name of being city boy, you know what I mean? And not just being confined to this one small little area that everybody else is stuck in. So I feel like 2017 was really the takeoff for me. And then 2020, when COVID hit, was just like a hard cutoff.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, shows weren't available. We couldn't go out and do our thing anymore. And I had to like take a step back and figure out another way to stay involved in music and like still make finance out of it and still keep my passion in it. So that's where like engineering came into play and like recording other people came into play and, you know, just keeping the dream alive.
What'd you do after that? How'd you keep it going?
So I had really been in some weird situations, like when COVID was hitting, like my job let everybody go.
What do you do? What were you doing?
I was working in the weed industry.
What were you doing?
So there's this company out here called Flav. They're like all over the country, but they're especially out here. This is like headquarters. The owner grew up next to my grandma. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
no shit. Cool.
Yeah. So it was like a family type deal the way that I was brought in, right? And it was like lab work, so like coagulation of oil and terpenes and stuff like that, and then filling up vape carts and doing a bunch of shows, like a bunch of expo shows, like High Times and shit like that.
No shit.
So yeah, it was. I met a lot of people that way too, you know.
Especially doing music. That's a good industry to be in, doing music.
Yeah. So that's how I got connected to a lot of LA people. That's how I got connected to like DGK and shit like that. So it was a cool time. But when the job let everybody go, I was kind of just on my ass. I had to figure out what to do with myself. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I had a side hustle of selling carts for the low because I got them at wholesale because I worked for the business. Yeah. So I would just get them and move them to people that wanted. They just hit me up. I was the Flav guy. I had all the shit. You know what I mean? And it was an easy grab. So that's what I was doing pre-COVID, and really just driving to LA like every fucking night. So I'd be in LA until like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then I'd be back down here in bed by like 4, go to sleep, get up at 8, go to work, do all that shit again. And that was a fucking routine, bro. It was fucking crazy, you know? So yeah, COVID happened, and then I started engineering and I started recording other people. And I had met my mentor online because he was mixing for other people that I was connected with, and it just kind of snowballed. You know, I sent him a mix. I asked him what he thought about it. He told me what to do to correct it. He liked that I was serious about trying to get the work done, and from there it was just a snowball.
Shout him out, bro. Who is he?
Oh, that's my boy Mas Gucci from San Diego, the fucking GOAT, bro, the greatest at what we do. Yeah, that's my dog.
That's what's up, bro. Tell me about your biggest accomplishments in life and in music, because I feel like you've been on a journey that you skipped over a lot of in life part, you know? So tell me about them.
It's crazy. It's really crazy. It's a lot, bro. It's a lot because I've lived so many different lives. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I feel that.
I've walked so many lives. Like when I was growing up, I was an athlete. Like I played football, baseball, basketball. My family like set North County records. You know what I mean? For like rushing yards in a year, fucking ERA pitching in baseball. Just a whole lot of wild shit. Like we're known out here for sports, you know what I mean? And when I was in 11th grade, I got in a fight with my basketball coach, and that was like it for me. I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm not doing this shit anymore. And I started
You gotta
walking to
tell
the
me
studio.
that story. You gotta tell me that story. How'd you
Yeah,
fight
no,
it?
it was fucking stupid, bro. It was stupid as hell. And really, it's like such a basic and general ass story. Like I don't remember exactly what had happened, but he didn't like the conduct that was going on with me and another player and somebody else. Like there was like the director of sports in the school or something like that was there, and he wasn't fucking with how we were acting. So he made us run laps around the school, like not the track, the fucking school, bro. He was like, all right, you guys got 4 laps around the school, blah blah blah. And I'm like, all right, whatever. One of the other players looked him dead in the face and said, fuck you, I'm not running, bro. He said I'm not doing shit. I'm not fucking running. And the coach looked at him and was like, all right. And then, nigga, I go outside and I fucking run my laps. And then like I sprint that shit out. I'm tired as fuck, bro. And he comes out right after I finish and he's like, all right, I'm gonna run this last one with you. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm done. And it turned into this fucking argument. It turned into this whole fucking argument, bro. And the argument turned into a fucking shoving match that turned into a fucking fight. And then he was like, you're fucking done. Like, you're not on the team anymore. Don't show up to practice anymore. And I was like, nigga, fuck basketball. I don't want to do this shit anyway, you know? And that shit was my heart and soul, bro. Like, I wanted to go to college and everything. So after that, I went and I started going to my boy Hato. I started going to his studio every day, bro, and just writing every day. And we started like writing songs together, you know what I mean? To the point to where it would be like he writes a bar, I write a bar, and then we're like, which verse do you want? Which verse do I want? Like we're just in each other's heads, bro. And like everybody knew me for just being fucking the rap guy. That's what the fuck I did, you know? Like it kept me away from all the bullshit, cause like you know, my uncle's gangbang and shit. Yeah. I was never somebody that gangbang. I grew up around this shit, but it was never my MO. They were always telling me like, stay in school, learn new words. Like my uncle would literally give me words and then be like by the end of the week, I want you to be able to use this in a sentence. And it would be a weird word like hence or like prudent or something like that. And I'd have to really like break this shit down and figure out like, what the fuck is he talking about? And you know, he like there was like plenty of like gang shit that went on around us, but for the most part, he wanted me to focus on the fact that he was playing basketball and there were like colleges calling him all the time and asking him to come like audition for the team, like come work out with us for a day. We want to see if you fit in with the squad. We know you have skills, blah blah blah. And they'd be big schools too, like really really big colleges, and he'd be sitting there with his voicemail on, looking me dead in the eyes like, I'm not going. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like what are you trying to accomplish? You're going to a junior college. You can like, nah, that shit is crazy. So I had that going on, and then on the other side, I had my parents really pushing me to excel in school because like my dad went to college and he had thought that was the way to go, you know. On his side, like I'm break this shit down. On his side, I'm Mexican and Italian, right? So his dad is first generation Mexican American, and he always bought the American dream. He fucking bought the American dream, bro. Star Spangled Banner, red stripes, all that shit. You know what I mean? This is what you got to do, and this is how you're gonna succeed, and that's just the way that he was. And fuck, I gotta plug my phone up. That's just the way that he was and the way that he operated. And my mom was dyslexic, so she was always pushing me to do well in school too because she struggled with it, and she knew that I was a smart kid, you know. So I had a lot of different ties trying to keep me like out of the street and just doing positive things, you know, or just taking care of myself. And I feel like that definitely benefited me as far as music goes. You know, I have a vocabulary that I feel like a lot of people don't, which is cool. And playing sports and all that really kept me out of the streets. I never won any like big medals or big ribbons or anything like that. I didn't even get like like
You stayed out the
sportsman.
streets. You stayed out the streets, bro. That's your
Yeah,
trophy.
that's a big accomplishment, bro. Like I'm still here. I got 10 fingers. I got 10 toes. You know what I mean? In a place where people don't make it past 25. So that's enough for me right there. And then you know, just post sports, making music and shit. Um, ending up right back in the fucking streets. You know what I mean? And pulling myself right back out with music and traveling the fucking world, learning to leave people behind me that didn't belong with me. You know what I mean? Like
That's huge.
it's really crazy because when you grow up in those difficult kinds of environments, there's a lot of unhealthy stuff going on because there's a lot of people just trying to make it through the day. They want to make it to the next paycheck. They want to feed their kids. They want to, you know, they don't have a lot of options. It's just always survival mode. So being somebody growing up in that type of a world and having the ability to realize what kind of a world it is and being able to step outside of it, it poses this whole brand new side of life where like you have to be your parent. You have to raise yourself again the proper way. Stop doing that fuckboy shit. You know what I mean? Stop trying to scam the people when it's not the people that are fucking you over, bro. In reality, it's, if anything, it's corporate greed that's fucking people over. They're the ones that want people looking at each other a specific way, so they spend money a specific way. You know what I mean? Like anytime there's a positive political movement, it's fucking hijacked. Like they want us boxed in. They want us trapped. You know, they fix us into wanting to work for somebody else, and they never allow us the opportunity to learn financial literacy to take care of ourselves and to be able to really have these kind of opportunities at hand that these people in like Orange County, for instance, like South Orange County, not like Anaheim and Santa Ana, but you know, like Laguna Beach, they grow up fucking well, bro. You know what I mean? They grow up fucking well. If they have problems, their problems are addressed. $1,000 a session at a therapist. We don't get shit like that, you know? And I really feel like having music as an outlet at the same time gave me another opportunity to grow and to realize things about myself and to really like unfiltered give myself somewhere to put my feelings and not just try to talk about shit that I think people want to hear me talk about or whatever the fuck people do when they make music, you know? Like it's really making music in its own is a trophy for me because it fucking saved my life, bro. It gave me an opportunity to move into different circles and to learn what freedom really looks like versus eating shit all day and being unhappy with my life and unhappy with my job and unhappy with my relationship and not having the capacity to slow down and look at these things and say, what's the problem here? Just always blaming, right? That shit never gets anybody anywhere, you know? So it's giving me opportunities, bro. Like just music itself is giving me opportunities. I've traveled the fucking country. I connected family members with each other. Like I have a grip of family in St. Louis. I reconnected them with all my California family because they're just not really in touch like that. You know what I mean? And then I have family out in Maryland. Weren't you saying that you had spent time? Yeah, there you go, Maryland boy. I love it. Yeah, so my family's in Silver Spring out there, right?
That's where I'm from.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. It's fucking beautiful out there, down by DC. You know what I mean? So we were coming down the Jersey Turnpike one year, and we were on our way to DC because we had a show in Harrisonburg, Virginia, right?
Yeah.
So I see Baltimore on the freeway. I see the fucking Baltimore sign, whatever the 5 whatever it was that leads to Baltimore.
Yeah.
And I call up my cousin and I was like, "Hey, don't you guys live out here in Baltimore?" And she's like, "We're south. We're south of Baltimore, but if you're out here, like pull up." And you know there's basements out there, bro. There's not basements here in Cali. We don't have that. We have earthquakes. We don't have that shit.
I feel you, bro. I live in the South, man. I miss basement like a motherfucker. Go ahead.
Bro, it's a whole apartment under the house. It's a whole apartment. There was like a 50-inch TV, a full bar. There was a room with a bed, fucking a bathroom with a full-on shower. I was blown the fuck away. And their parents were out of town, so they were literally like they're twins. They were literally like the nicest people in the world to me. I haven't seen them since I was like 7 years old. They invited my whole tour bus in, you know what I mean? They
That's
told
because
me,
they had a
yeah,
basement.
yeah,
Y'all had room.
yeah. They had us up in the house too, and they're like, look, anything you guys want to eat, I just stocked the freezer. Fuck with it, it's cool.
Hell
My cousin's
yeah.
boyfriend came over. We bought an ounce off of him. We were smoking in the backyard. But what are those pine trees or evergreen trees that they have out there?
Pine trees, bro. Pine trees for
Pine
sure.
trees, bro. One of my homies from Utah, my boy Third Eye High, he fucking threw up a hammock in between two of the trees and slept out fucking side in October, bro.
Yes, sir.
That shit was crazy. But yeah, it's beautiful out there. It's really foresty. I had that opportunity to go like stay with my cousins and really just like vibe with them, get reconnected with them. I went down to DC where their grandpa, if I don't remember what museum it is, I want to say it's the Smithsonian. I might be wrong as fuck. But my grandpa's brother, Robert Davila, he wrote a book, and it's like a bestseller. Like it's like a really big deal, and he's really big in the deaf community on the East Coast. He worked for George Bush Sr. And he was the president of a deaf community in Rochester, New York. So it's dope just being able to get out and like witness that like there's special shit going on with my name on it. You know what I mean? Whether or not I'm the one that's out there doing it, like my last name, for what it's worth, it holds weight. Like we're somebody. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man. That's something to be proud of, for real.
Yeah, for real. That shit was beautiful, bro. That shit was beautiful. So I thank music for all that. You know what I mean? And just having positive places to put my finances and to know what I want to do, and to know that I'm doing something for people and not just for myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, facts, bro. Facts. Tell me about the biggest obstacles that you've had to overcome in the whole journey.
The biggest obstacles. Honestly, the biggest obstacles for me in music, it's never been making the music. I've always found a way. Even when it seems like it's not a way, like there's a way, you know what I mean? Like
A lot of
all
times,
these kids making music.
artists' biggest obstacles in music is life.
My biggest obstacle, yeah, life. Because my mom passed away a couple years ago, but she had a lot of health issues, and that made me have to stay close a lot. It was hard for me to really get out there and push my issue for a long time, you know. And on top of that, just people gatekeeping and coveting how to do this shit. Not only how to make the music, but how to get it to the people, how to get eyes on what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's not fucking 1996. We're not trapping out the trunk anymore, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody wants your CD. And I mean, I say that sparingly because I know when I'm on tour, when I'm in certain places, like if I'm in fucking Oklahoma City, people are buying CDs, bro. If I'm in fucking Albuquerque, New Mexico, people are buying CDs, bro. You know what I mean? And I've had people specifically ask me, can you put this on a CD so I can listen to it in my car? Like, yeah, of course I can. You know? So there's still a market for that. Like it's still a thing. Just not really in your hometown. You know what I mean? You gotta be somewhere. You have to be looked at like you're doing something. Yeah. And presentation's a really big part of that too. But like, you know, when I was a kid in this shit, when I was like 19, 20 years old and walking around the town trying to sell CDs, nobody was explaining to me any avenues of how to get ears on me by the right people, that there's lawyers that I can get in touch with, that there's people that can connect me with managers, you know what I mean? Or anything of that nature. social media wasn't extremely big yet. It was like, what was it, Facebook at that time?
Yeah, probably.
Face- Facebook and fucking YouTube. You know what I mean? So like, do what you can with that, but it's not really that special. You know what I mean? This is a couple years after Still Tipping dropped. Like, there's not much going on, and all of the people that were in their mid-30s that had been doing this shit for a long time, they didn't want these young people coming in and taking what they had always been working for. They took it personally. And I'm not even gonna drop any names when it comes to that, but they just took it extremely personally. And the way they felt about it was, yes, I have a very talented army behind me, but if the door is getting kicked open, I'm kicking the door open. And that was a big issue because it postponed a lot of our careers in a time where everybody wanted somebody else to do it for them. That was the name of the game. You meet a label, the label does it for you. You know? Now we live in this world where you can do anything you want. All you have to do is put the effort into it, ask questions, read. You're going to get where you're going. There's 6 degrees of separation between you and anybody you would ever need to know in the world.
Damn right.
It's just know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. That's all that is. You know?
Absolutely.
I try to put this kind of game on people. Like, where I'm from, there's a lot of people who treat this like it's a hobby. That jump online and talk a bunch of shit and do small shows at small in farmers markets and then walk around talking like they're hot shit. And then they go and buy followers and all of a sudden they're up to 7K and it means something to them. But nobody fucking cares about what they're doing. It's obvious. And then they just crawl up the OG's assholes and try to fucking, you know what I mean? Ride their coattails. And
No doubt,
like,
bro.
Yeah, it's like you're a bitch, my nigga. And then there's people like me that don't ask for shit from anybody, like, ever, bro. I know for a fact, because I've had this conversation with people, that people look at me, they see what I'm doing, they're confident in the fact that I'm doing the right thing, and they move on. Because they don't want to interrupt me, and that's totally cool. I had a conversation with an investor recently, this like a couple months ago, and they were talking about investing in people, and I know them personally. Like, 2018, we had an Airbnb in fucking San Francisco, bro, and we were out there doing mushrooms on the pier. You know what I mean? Like, that shit was crazy. But when it came down to him looking for people to invest in, he overlooked me. So I called them out and I was like, what's the deal? Because you guys know, if you're going to put money in anybody and it's going to work and it's going to come back to you, like, I'm your fucking guy. Like, yeah, like I really do this, and I'll out-rap anybody that you put up to me. And I don't mean that in like I'm fucking better than anybody, because that's bullshit, bro. It's all relative. People like what they like, you know? But if you want my personal opinion, I will go bar for bar with anybody. And that's
Confidence.
It's confident, and it's a pretty unanimous opinion across anybody that I talk to. They even tell me, like, your lazy work is just as good as anybody else's. Okay, cool. So the conversation was basically like, what are you doing overlooking me, knowing that I'm the guy, you know? And what they had said to me is like, oh, we know, bro. Like, so-and-so, he remembers you. He knows who you are personally, you know what I mean? He thought that you were busy doing your own thing, and he just always thought Ghost is doing what Ghost is doing, so why interrupt Ghost? You know? And
I mean, that's a bittersweet feeling. That's a bittersweet feeling right there.
No, it is. It's bittersweet, and they say the greatest get drugged through the mud, or however you want to put it. Good people get the sharp end of the stick, or whatever the fuck. But I had to take it 2 separate ways. First of all, I had to put my foot down and I had to let him know, like, no, that's fucking bullshit. Yeah. Like, if this is business, let's do business. But at the same time, I had to take it in and understand they believe in me.
Exactly.
To the point to where they thought I already had it covered and I would have no reason to want to work with them. And that's cool. That's totally cool.
Bittersweet is like, damn, y'all didn't think of me, but like, oh, it's because you didn't think I needed you.
Exactly. And I feel like that's been a reoccurring theme throughout my career. That's been another hurdle, is people believing that I'm too good for what they have going on. And I never give that energy off. Like, I mean, I don't know how people perceive it, but like
That's
I was
interesting.
always the kid. So I was always the kid wondering if I even fit in. You know what I mean? Wondering if people even fucking like me.
I feel you, bro.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel you. I feel you.
Like fighting every day, bro. Like getting out of school and just fucking fighting every day.
And then when you get
And
positive response from the things you're doing, you don't even know how to respond to it.
you don't believe it.
Yeah.
You brush it off because you're like, well, that was fucking weird. Like, what?
Yeah, bro, I feel you, man.
That's like telling a girl that's been told she's ugly her whole life that she's fine as hell. She's not gonna believe you, bro.
Like, okay, go ahead. What do you want? Money? Like,
Yeah. What the fuck do you want from me? People know I get money. What do you want? Like, that's exactly how it is. And it's just one of those things, bro. Like, when people see you and they see that it factor in you, whatever it is, when they see it in you, they either attach to you or they go out of their way to not be attached to you because they don't want it to look like you're the only reason they ever did anything. You know what I mean?
or they run from you because you intimidate the hell out of them.
And for what, bro? I mean, I get it, but I don't, because this conversation that we're having right now, this is just like we met anywhere, bro. This is like I don't know. We're hanging out outside the dispensary, bro, and we're just fucking shooting shit.
Yep.
And it's whatever. Like, this is just how I talk to people. This is who I am. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't understand that on a personal level, because I'm nice to everybody. I'm fucking inclusive to everybody. I know what it's like to be left out.
Okay, so that's a conversation I've had before on an interview. Shout out John Koo. He's an awesome dude. But
that's right.
Basically, what we talked about was he is like a genuinely kind person who wants the best for everybody. But he gets mad hate with people saying, oh, you're ingenuine, oh, you're full of shit, you're this, you're that. But people can't process when you're like a legitimately good person. They can't believe it because so many people put on the fronts that they are good people, but they're not.
Yeah, that they just straight up, they don't believe you.
No, they can't process it anymore.
Yeah, bro, I've been in parties where girls get their fucking phone stolen and they're complaining, and I'm like, what does your phone look like? And they look at me like, don't even fucking start with me. And I'm like,
I'm trying to help. You
just told me your phone got stolen. Like, I could have said nothing. You know what I mean? And come to find out, somebody that came with me stole the fucking phone.
It's like, if you would trust me, if you told me what that phone looked like, bro, I'd have called dude out and got it back to you, man. And, like, whatever, it just...
I mean, honestly, yes, but depending. But especially the fact that it was a girl.
Not publicly. I mean, you could just be like,
you know what I mean?
Hey, bro, slide the phone back. Just put it under the couch and be like, oh, look, I found it.
Like, hey, bro, that's a young lady, and she's got to get home, and it's unsafe in this part of town, bro. Give her fucking phone back, dog. Like, is that worth $6 to you?
Especially, I mean, how much you get for stolen phones nowadays, yo? Like, you gotta be a dime a dozen.
Well, they gotta break the coding or whatever. Facts. They gotta unlock the phone. So, is it even worth it?
That's what I'm trying to say.
When we were young, it was worth it to us because we knew somebody. But
bro, when the iPhone 4s were out and new, if you got an iPhone 4, bro, on the street, you're a millionaire. I mean, not a million, but you know what I mean? Like, it was crazy, bro. Like,
dog, that was having a Charizard as a little kid. Like, you figured life out. Like, that's it. You got it. No, nothing else matters. That's it. and like, looking back now, like, I know it was shady shit, and I know that we were all just fucking pissed off at life. You know what I mean? We were just mad at the circumstances of life. So we'd go to richer cities and party with them and fucking steal from them and take their girls and beat them up and go home. And that was the name of the game. You know what I mean?
It was
That's
just the
just like
environment you were in.
it was just the environment, bro. It was literally just the environment. I remember this one time I was at a party and this is when I smoked cigarettes. I was out back and I was smoking a Newport, and this dude walked up to me and he was like, "Give me a cigarette." Like, he didn't ask for one. He told me, like, "Give me a cigarette," and I was like, "The fuck?" Nah. So he took my cigarette. Like, he took my cigarette and then started dragging it, and I ripped that shit out of his mouth and crumpled it up and threw it off the balcony. And I was like, "Nigga, don't ever touch my shit." Then another one, and then he tried to get with me, and all of a sudden, like, 4 or 5 people pop out of the crowd. You know what I mean? You see all these fucking brown and black faces popping out of the crowd, and it was just like, that's the end of the conversation, bro. Like, you're surrounded. That's it. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? And
Were we talking?
That's the kind of energy that we everywhere. Yeah, like, were we talking about something? Because I shit to do. So yeah, like, be gone, bro. Be gone.
Hell yeah, man.
That's yeah. We were just hoodlums, bro. That's all it was. You know what I mean?
What does success in life and in music look like to you?
Huh?
What does success in life and in music look like to you?
Freedom. Success in life looks like owning your time and not having to give it to other people unless you actually want to. That's what success looks like to me. Success looks like being able to be anywhere you want at any time. You know what I mean? Being able to have your shit work for you, like owning land, bro. Being able to disappear and focus in on that. Like if you saw the Kanye West documentary where he's in the middle of like Idaho or some shit like that, and he's got acres, and he's got his little studio room, and you see like fucking deer running through the property, and they're wild animals, bro. That shit is beautiful. Yeah. I've always had this idea of like something like that, or like a fucking ass house built in a tree. You know, like a 3-story fucking house, bro. Just in a fucking tree, away from everybody, where I can just disappear. Success in music, that one, it's a little bit more obscure, because it's like, what is success in music? You know, when there's people like Andre 3000, that's like one of the considerably greatest rappers of all time, and he considers Killer Mike one of the greatest rappers of all time and listens to him regularly. And who knows who Killer Mike is?
I don't.
Like, how's that even fair?
I don't.
Killer Mike is amazing. He's amazing.
I gotta check him out.
He doesn't. Yeah. So he doesn't only rap, but he also is a very headstrong political activist. You know, especially for the black community, especially in Atlanta. And he had a documentary where he literally just went around teaching people how to make businesses. He had a doc where in Atlanta, he literally was only going to use black-owned businesses, and it was crazy, because it wasn't as many as you would think. You know what I mean? Like, he ended up with like a can of like chickpeas or something like that, and he was trying to find a black-owned can opener so he could fucking open them, and he ended up sleeping on a bench, and it was crazy. It was really fucking crazy. But I have a lot of love and respect for him, dog. He's just a fucking real one, and he talks his shit, and he stands behind what he says, like, right or wrong. He stands behind it, and I love that about him. So I would say success in music is really obscure. It's what you're looking for in the music. Like, if you just want an audience that you can travel and meet with, if you want 200 people at every show that you do, and being able to travel the country and doing that, and being able to pay your bills and work on music when you feel like it and not having to work a job, if that's success to you, bro, then that's fucking success. You know what I mean? If success to you is running a t-shirt business and a fucking taco truck and touring out to fucking Germany whenever you can because you have connections out there, that's fucking success, bro. Everyone's so caught up in this idea that you need 30,000 likes on everything and like you need a real diamond chain and like, bro, come on. You know how much that shit costs?
Bro, even the real,
You know how
even the
much
big
that shit
rappers,
costs?
they don't own them diamond chains, bro. They don't own them.
I'm telling you, bro. Look, these are fucking 2.5 carats a piece. These are lab grown, bro. These are 2K. If I bought the real out of the fucking earth, the ones that are like fucking slave labored, it would have been 50 racks, bro.
And why would you want to
You
support
trying
that
to tell
industry?
me? I don't. I straight up
Exactly.
don't. That's
Exactly.
another reason
How
why
much do
my
those cost
shit's
you?
lab grown. 2K.
2K. There you go.
Yeah. 2K. And then the white gold chains.
There you go.
1,800, 1,300. That's it.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like I don't have to drop. I did this shit for me. I don't have to drop to try to pretend like blah 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 blah. Like this shit's my birthstone,
No.
bro. Like,
bro, my lady told me if I ever gave her a ring with a big old diamond, she'd give it back to me. She don't want that.
she a real one, dog.
She don't want it.
She a real one. She said, get me like a fucking fire opal or something.
Give me a CZ. I don't give a fuck. Just like,
hey, as long as it's pretty and it doesn't turn my finger green, you feel me? I mean, I'm a little bit of a snob. Like personally, my shit, it's got to be real. Like
metals are one thing, diamonds are a whole other. I mean, if you understand why, then I mean, it's a real thing, you know.
These aren't even rare, bro.
No, and that's fine. And they look good, bro. Like they're cool. They do everything the other ones would do.
Well, yeah, they're the real deal. They're just made in a lab. You know what I mean? That's the real difference about it.
And you can feel good about it.
It saves you. Yeah, you're saving money. You know what I mean? You're saving out on the blood, sweat, and tears that go into getting those diamonds out of the earth.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's a whole different conversation for some shit that a specific country doesn't own that is in a taking from them. You know what I mean?
We could go off on an hour-long tangent about that, bro. It's all terrible, man. But tell me,
I'm already knowing.
Do you have anything coming up you want to talk about?
Honestly, I don't have any legitimately set in stone right now, but I've been keeping my head down and just working all year. I've been pulling plugs. But I mean, my single "Where We're From," I just dropped it in July on all platforms, and it's, you know, I got my Billboard plugs for pulling strings on that one. It's about to fucking blow. I'm just being patient in my turn, you know. I've been laying low and just working all year, bro. Like okay, when I wrote "Where We're From," I was fucking sleeping in my car last November, and I didn't get to record it until March. And yeah, that shit's about to take the fuck off. That's crazy. So in the meantime, in between time, I've just been recording. I'm just making connections and recording. I'm making music with Monique Winnan, my homegirl Monique Diamond out of Texas. You know, shout out her. She's produced for NLE Choppa. She's got gold plaques with him. You know, putting with my bros out here and really just trying to teach people a different way to look at what's going on. Like, just know that the side's coming. I've recorded 100 songs, like literally like 100 songs between March and between right now. Like, I've got a Google Drive folder, like folders just fucking loaded up with songs. So I'm going to be dropping. I got my song Pump Flex coming out October 10th. Just kind of, it's just a melody, you know. It's just a good feeling song, dog. It's not.
Oh yeah. It's
not necessarily in any direction. It's just saying, like, people out here talk as if they really have it going on, but really it's a pump fake, bro. It's like a fucking that. Pump fake.
I like that.
But instead of saying pump fake, I turned it into pump flex because they're fake flexing, bro. Like we're talking about with the jewelry. People go out and they buy fake jewelry and then they walk around and they're like, oh, this shit's so real. Fake diamond tester on my shit. Like, bro, you're perpetuating fakeness. Like, cut that shit. Like, keep it where you're at. There's artists bigger than me, bro, that do not have the jewelry that I have. And that's fucking respectable. To see people that, I mean, I can go to the Slauson fucking swap meet and I can see exactly what they bought. I can see exactly what the fuck they bought, like a $300 chain and like $120, you know,
Yep.
little
Yeah.
pendants, and
Yep.
it's like they're making money, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just not worried about that. They're worried about keeping the money coming in, you know?
Yep. Yep. No doubt, bro. No doubt, man.
Hell yeah.
Before we end it, is there any kind of sentiment or life lesson that you want to leave with anybody watching?
Honestly, to everybody out there that's watching, just do what makes you feel like home. You know what I mean?
Damn, I like
and
that.
like really listen. Yeah. Like listen to the wordage in that. Like, do what makes you feel like home, because home is never gonna be a place if it's not in you. You know what I mean? Don't let anybody tell you that you're wrong or you're weird. Like, bro, we're all humans figuring this shit out. There's no fucking there's no cheat code for this. You know what I mean? There's no this is what's gonna work for the 30 years. Like, get out there and put your stamp on shit. Don't be afraid to do what you love. Don't be afraid of people talking about it. You're gonna meet your people. You know what I mean? Be brave.
Love that, bro.
And don't give up on yourself, bro. Don't ever give up on yourself. That's the
Love
truth.
that. Love that, bro. And for real, on that note, and it's awesome because I meant to shout this out in the beginning of the interview, but I forgot. So I'm doing it at the end. This is my first sponsored interview, and it's by Real Life Strength. Okay, it's shout out the Ashley Ann _ Real Life Strength, real like the reels we post, and her whole slogan is darkness breeds resilience. And
Oh yeah.
it really, once you've gone through the trauma, then that's when you are full form yourself.
Exactly. I know you've seen that movie Glass.
Oh, no doubt, bro. No doubt.
Yeah. That's what he was saying to those girls. There was the one that he was okay with because he's like,
You're
that shit is
right.
fucking crazy.
Yep.
But yeah, when you're in the dark, bro, that's the only time you're gonna realize how bright you are. And you gotta keep reminding yourself when you made it out of that dark place, I am this bright, you know?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And that's why I love her brand. Shout out the Ashley Ann _ Real Life Strength. Check her out, bro. Her brand is incredible. It's all about mental health awareness and strength and resilience. Check her out. But as importantly, this has been a great episode of Characteristic. Check out City Boy Ghost. Follow him up. Hit him up. I'll see y'all next time. Peace up.